It's like we're having technical difficulties. Hi, everybody.
Yeah. Hey, if you can see us, I'm trying to. There it goes. It says it's reconnected.
All right, cool. We got Mr. Dragos.
Yep.
What up, Joe? Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, that's a shitty time to pop that up.
It's like, we've got you covered. Click this link. You click the link, it takes me completely out of this sucker.
Yeah. What up, Amanda? Ain't seen you in a while. Tim.
Look at that little redhead beauty.
Bruce.
Man, a lot of us dent guys got some redheaded kids.
I know, right? How is that? Like, is it because our blood pressure's so high all the time they just come out redheaded?
I guess. And then a lot of our wives are named Amanda. So
yeah, a lot. It's crazy how that works out. Hey, Amanda, which one? Yeah, all being MTE, that'd be confusing as shit.
Crazy. Anyway, hey, what's up? I know we've already talked about your day, my day. We both busy doing
got our asses kicked.
Crap. Yeah, it's hot, dude. I pulled the truck I was working on yesterday. The nose of it was sticking out of the bay, and when I got in it yesterday afternoon to pull it around after lunch, it said 102 on the temp gauge.
That's how it was here today. Dude, it was miserably hot.
You know, even with the 75 challenge, I'm doing it. You got to drink a gallon of pure water a day, which I'm already doing anyway. But I mean, past 2 days, I mean, yeah, I'll sweat and I'm just pounding water, but man, it'll dry out quick. You can't keep enough in you.
Yeah, that's how it's been here. It's supposed to drop like 20 degrees tonight here and like be back to what it should be this time of year. Like this weather's been so weird here.
Yeah.
It'll cool off by the time we head down to your way, you know, for our vacation, and it'll be nice and hot again. So I can't wait.
We'll probably have a hurricane here in the next by next week.
Perfect. That's what I like to hear.
There's 2 of them out there on the east. They're going, and then the one that they're watching by middle of next week, there's 80% chance, but it'll be down there heading towards Mexico, and then it could swoop straight up if it gets in that Gulf. Ain't no telling where it's going.
Tell you what,
it'll be the first one. Heck, it's kind of been it's been a real quiet season.
Yeah, Kyle, it's showing your name. You got it, brother. You click the link.
Sir.
I don't know what Doug's doing in the back room, but he's making me dizzy. Like, I see his phone. He was upside down for a hot minute. I'm like, what's going on here? What are we doing? It does not show your name, Facebook user.
That's probably like Josh or something.
Maybe.
So we'll get on into it here. I'll let you introduce our guest tonight because you know him a lot better than I do.
No, just kind of barely. No, it's a great guy. Like, I love Doug to death. We are in the 20 group together. He was in Phoenix when I was last week, so we got to go out and have breakfast a couple of days and really chat it up. Like, man, we need to get him on the show. Like, he'd be a great one. And plus, I love his sarcasm. Like, his personality, like his comedic humor is hilarious. Like, he'll have us dying in the group text, and it's just like sarcasm, but I love it. So yeah, we got Mr. Doug Hillius. Welcome him to the show.
What's up, Doug?
Hi guys, what's up?
What's up, brother?
Not much. I know we've been talking a little bit behind the scenes, but
I was gonna say, we just pretend we haven't been talking for like 30 minutes already.
No worries.
I was trying to like save any questions I have.
All right.
Looking, we got Josh Roberts is on. We get a
lot of Facebook users.
It's got to be big.
Is that big?
It's got to be. He always got to send you the fingers that you flipped him off of the
I love him.
So, Doug, how was your day today, bud?
It was good. It was busy. We're down one guy at the shop, so it's been really busy.
I imagine.
But not too crazy hot. You guys are talking about being hot. Today we were like 75, so I didn't dislike that because it's been higher. And smoky, though. Like we were talking earlier, we got some fires going on over here, so a lot of smoke in the air. So I might take the higher heat and the less smoke over the lower heat and the smoke. But
yeah, I could probably live with a little higher heat and no smoke.
Yeah. No one ever asked me, though. So, yeah.
Now, are the fires in Washington or are they in California?
Yeah. They're Washington and Canada. So, like they're on our side of the mountain this time, which is pretty rare. Normally, they're on Eastern Washington, where it's always hotter. But this time they're on this side, and I think they're getting close to getting that one out, but they don't have it out yet. So we're just we're just dealing with it.
Have they figured out like lightning or people camping or
I don't know.
cigarettes out, or
I haven't heard. But
arsonists?
yeah, could be. So what
Bruce said
say
you're
there?
the best of the Northwest.
I know what he's saying. So Bruce, my other local guy, we talk periodically, but we never ever see each other. We're far enough away from each other. So
right.
I don't think Bruce ever comes out of his little shop at his house.
No, if I had that shop, I wouldn't come out of it either. So,
right.
Yeah, I spent time on the phone with Bruce about that shop. I want to know where he got who did it for him and everything. So
awesome.
Yeah, it's nice.
Bruce is awesome.
I think the only time he comes out is when he goes fishing.
Oh yeah,
It could be.
I love the fact the MTE he was fishing. He's like, oh,
Yeah. Yeah, good guy. I actually met him like
Good guy.
it's probably 6 years ago or something like that. MTE, and I walked up and I saw a sweatshirt and I was like, I recognized the area code and I was like, who the hell is this? Right? Like, how do I not know a guy in my area? And he's been doing it a long time too. So it was kind of weird to not know who he was, but he's a really, really nice guy. Awesome too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
He came up at
dude.
this last MTE, met me and Brandon in person. It was really good to get to talk to him and meet him in person and stuff. So how far are you guys away from each other?
Oh man, we must be. He's a lot closer to Canada than I am. He's got to be 80 miles ish or so, maybe more.
I got you.
So
nice.
we don't let him down here.
We don't like you type round.
No, it's the high rent district. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Matt.
What do you think?
Appreciate it, Matt. Yeah.
Whoa, I'm a little worried about that comment. That's sweet. Y'all keep that off air, man. We ain't got time for that.
Well,
yeah, Bruce does have an awesome van set up. I love it. I tried. He had all that stuff slid out of his back one day. I was like, pop a wheelie, take off and see if that thing will ride up and pop a wheelie. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, his van's about as nicely set up as I've ever seen.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
He said he's so old he don't even remember who he is.
Doug, you talking about the fires and stuff. You should use your superpower and just, travel over to where the fire's at and it'll start raining and you'll take care of it.
Maybe I just drive a little bit. Everywhere I go, it rains. Yeah.
Andy was telling me about that.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
So for you guys that don't know, Doug's been to Arizona twice. It's rained both times. Even hailed one time. We were there last week.
Yeah.
It's like,
and everybody swears, no, man, it never rains there. I was like, oh, okay.
Hold my beer.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, if you want to tell us a little bit of how you got into PDR, how long you've been doing it, and all that good stuff.
I started in February '99. I was a dent wizard like a lot of guys. And actually, the way I got introduced to those guys, my cousin ran all the parts for the local auction, right? So he was the parts guy for the body shop and things like that. And he was approached by the local dent wizard and said, "Hey, are you interested in doing this?" And he said, "Nah, I'm not, but my cousin might be." So I met these guys, was introduced to them, and then interviewed with them. And they said, "Well, hey, if you're interested in doing this, we will send you to school in a week and a half." So we got a couple guys waiting, but if you want to go, we will send you first. And I said, okay. So I left the job I was at and went and did that and went to school. And then I worked for those guys for 5 years to the date. 5 years to the date. And then it was never my intention. Like, I know a lot of guys learn this trade and think they're just going to run with it or whatever they're going to do. I wasn't like that. I mean, I have no problem working for someone if I feel appreciated. I might be preaching to the choir with some other dent wizards out there, but I sort of reached my max probably within the first year of what I could make there, and so I just decided it was time to move on. It was hard to get raises out of them and things like that. So started my own gig, got sued to the moon, and I sort of looked back at it and thought, well, that was the price of doing business, right? Like, that's what it's going to take for me to start my gig. And I walked away from everybody I did work for and started my own thing and got called back to a lot of them because I was willing to do stuff that they're like, well, they called this new guy in and he can't do it. And I was like, are you guys messing with me? Are you just saying that because you want me to come do work for you? Or like, yeah, this can be done. And they're like, no, I know, you've done it. So we know you can do it. So got into a couple places, and I don't really do much wholesale or any dealership work anymore. It's almost all stuff here at the shop that's retail. And so then I've been at it since 99. So 23 years, something like that. So yeah.
Bruce is asking if you ever did Linwood Acura.
Did I ever do Linwood Acura? Only when they brought me cars at the shop.
I like it.
They brought them down here. So
like, why am I going to work on your parking lot when I got this nice shop that
I do?
Bring them on over.
I'm spoiled now. I don't want to go do anything outside the shop. I've done a few mobile stuff. Actually, the picture you have of me for this was like the last time I did a mobile job, and I was like, "Oh, this is so much fun." It wasn't that much fun. It really wasn't. So I like being able to take doors off of stuff and do it here, and not have to bend over and kill your back or sit in the rain or sit in the sun. So
yeah, you got all your tools at your disposal and everything.
Totally. Yeah, you never have anything that's not with you because it's always with you here.
Right. Yep. Exactly.
How long have you had your shop?
Man, I think I'm going on 6 years, a little over.
Nice.
This is the third location, all on the same street that we were on. We had a little shop to start out with, and then rented a space in a detail shop next door, and now we have the shop that we have next to them once it opened up. So, yeah, it's good. I like the shop life. I do. It's
nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
I think I've been in mine been fully running in mine since March or April, and I'm like, how did I do that? Well, I say that I'm still mobile every like 2 or 3 days a week at least.
Yeah,
but that's a whole nother monster. So that's a different situation.
Yeah, mine went well with the guy that came on and was doing the mobile stuff for me. Like, we still run a mobile operation, but it's less and less all the time. Actually, I was actually going to bring this up with you in our little group, Andy. My accountant sends me something every month, sort of the breakdown of what people owe you and how you did and what you owe on and what people owe you. And she breaks down how much wholesale and retail work we do. And even any idea how much retail we do compared to wholesale work?
I'd say you being around probably 85% wholesale or retail. I mean,
yeah, we just broke 80%, so it's all 80% retail. So that's something out there. If people think, oh, I can't support it with this, and I got to have dealerships. And over the years, we've lost dealerships, and it always stressed me out. Right? You're like, oh my God, this is that dealership I've gone to for 18 years, and now we don't really do them anymore. And it used to really stress me. I don't stress it anymore because there's always a lot of cars to do that. So
right. And you're we got several of us are getting on multiple services and stuff, and you're still just a PDR shop and
correct. And that's all we do. That's all we do. Yeah. But see, we're connected to a detail shop and a leather restoration and a PPF guy and a tints guy and a ceramic guy. So many people are taking we've got turning it into more, more. That's funny. Matt's probably the one guy I've seen just take what he's got and just expand it into everything. Right.
Speaking of the devil, he's asking if you've worked with any collision centers.
Yeah. I mean, we still do a lot of body shops, but I mean, we've gotten to the point where they will bring stuff to us, right? Like they'll just bring it to us. We don't have to go do it. If it's small stuff, not a problem. But I don't know if we're lucky or we've just been around long enough to be able to have that luxury, but that's how a lot of it's done anymore.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's what you want. But yeah, and I want people out there to know, like I said, I'm one of them. Matt's the king of it. Multiple services. Like, you can offer that, but you don't always necessarily have to go with multiple services. I think a PDR standalone shop, Brandon's PDR alone and killing it. So you can still have a shop and run just PDR and be awesome with it. So
yeah, I mean, and when you hook up with some other people, right, that have the other services, right? If you're doing them, I think it's great. I mean, I think there's a lot of money in it. But like, we just sort of feed off each other, right? We'll get work from them. They'll get work from us. And it's not really a markup thing. It's right. Like, I'm going to pass them off to you and you're going to do your thing. And I know I can trust that the service they're going to get, I don't have to worry about it. Right. Yeah. I trust you guys. It's going to go over there and it'll get done right. And the same thing with us. They'll send stuff to us and we will do it. And we just charge them instead of working it through each other. That way we're not marking up things back and forth. And the customer knows they're getting a fair deal, right? They know that it's not worked around between a couple of different businesses. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just keep it networking, keep it simple. You take care of each other. That works out great.
Well, and it's customers you might not have had otherwise, right?
Yeah,
The detail
exactly.
shop we're next to is, man, he's probably been in it 30 years, maybe longer.
Oh wow.
I mean, you know how many people you know in the years you've been doing it. Well, imagine add even more years to it, right? Be in the game 30 years, and it always seems to be the same people anyway. If you refer, oh, I know that guy, I know that, you know what I mean. So it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah, with me, it's mainly, you know, referrals back and forth to the detailers that I know and all that. But just because I've become friends with a lot of them, and you know, it doesn't mean that I can't do it. They send me work, I send them work.
yeah.
You say, would you say most of your work comes from them referrals, or is it, you know,
Yeah.
you're advertising the referrals?
No. I know people are going to find this hard to believe, but we just don't really advertise, right?
That's awesome.
Like people have asked me what my budget is, and I don't have a budget. I mean, but that's the same thing. If you're in the same area for 23 years and you've always strived to be as good as you possibly can, and I probably could be wealthier if I cared less, but I care so, you know what I mean? It's like there's certain people you're just sort of wired that you'll do a work for someone, and then you'll go home at night and you're like, man, I hope that person's okay, right? Like I hope they're like, I hope it's exactly what they wanted, right? You just stress about those things. You're either like that or you're not like that, right? A lot of guys are like, I did the work and I got paid and it's done, but I probably take it maybe too personally, but I do, you know.
Oh, I get it. Like, because if I send a Google review link to somebody, like, you know, they're all ecstatic, I send them a link and they're getting them back. I'm like, what the hell? What did I miss? Like, you got everything I could think of, so I think about that shit.
Yeah. So yeah. So
I hit the where the invoice has been paid again. So it automatically sends that text through.
Wakey. We still don't get that. And, Andy, you do some pretty badass PDR work yourself, bud. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Shoot, Doug's the beast. He's up there with them Teslas. Like you get a bunch of Teslas, don't you?
That's all. Tesla people are very techie people. They're not necessarily car people, and they're not necessarily the premier car drivers, but they love their cars, right? And they're super connected. Was that a nice political way to say
was
that?
perfect.
Yeah. So,
I like it.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the best way I could put that. But I'll tell you, if there's a group of people that are connected, it's Tesla people, right? They're techie people, so they're always online talking to each other, and we've strived to really do a really good job with those guys. So they tell someone, and we have a lot of people can't say they have 3 Tesla. Actually, we have 4 Tesla dealerships now around us.
Wow.
So pretty easy. I've been with them since they were a very small little place delivering cars down near the water, and now there's 4 of them. A couple north of us, a couple south of us, one right down the street from us. So they just drop cars off and they go just get it back whenever you get it back. So my relationship with those guys is really, really, really good. So I mean, but yeah, those cars there's other cars out there more fun to do than those. Right. So yeah.
Now are you and all your guys trained to shut them down?
I am. I took the class. I went to Anson and got the level 2 cert. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of people are super scared about him, right? They're like, oh God, if I go down the door, do I got to power it down? It's like, no, man, the door is just a door, right? Like it's when you get in the quarter panels and you get up near the fenders and the spots like that you really start getting nervous about. Do we shut them all down? No. I mean, for standard door stuff, no, we're not gonna shut one down. But and if we have any questions, one of the benefits about our shop being, I'm gonna guess our shop's 2-3 minutes from the Tesla dealer. I've worked with them long enough that I can text the lead tech, hey man, I got this thing. He will drive down. If it's a different model, he'll power it down. If he'll take something apart, and then we'll just sort of, they charge me, I'll charge the customer. So pretty amazing situation, honestly.
Yeah.
Right. I like what Matt said. He said, you're basically like Matt, and that's kind of the way I'm looking at it. Matt, we offer multiple services. We're not worried about making the money off the ceramic, or, you know, we're going to obviously make money off of it. We're more worried about getting that customer in to offer the multiple services we have and get that customer base built up. But like he said, if you're doing it that way, I mean, you're winning without the risk, you know what I mean? Because you got your other services right there in the same building. So yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, there's another half of the shop I would love to take over. And I keep thinking, what could I add as a service? But there's not a lot of things that pay off the same as PDR, right? Like the investment on PDR is in yourself and in your tools, and then after that, and it's pretty low cost. So
exactly. And I don't know if you said it or not. I'll go ahead and ask again just in case. How many employees you have?
I have 2 other techs and 1 full-time office / estimator / fight with the insurance guy.
That's my wife.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he's a good-looking guy, but your wife's pretty. So, yeah. And I don't even think he'd argue it otherwise. But he's actually the funny thing about that, like we've had discussions before, and people have asked, well, you get this guy and get this estimator, and he has no car background whatsoever, none, and his ability to communicate back with insurance guys and people on the phone, it's just different. He's just built right for that job. So. And I've continued to see our revenue go up when you get the right front end person, because years enough in to do it. Like Andy, Brandon, you guys are in it a long time. You know someone, you sort of feel that obligation, or someone and it's their friend or their neighbor. You almost feel this obligation. Like, I got to give them this amazing deal, right? Mm-hmm. I do. So when I have someone that filters between the customer and myself, it's a lot nicer. That just sort of goes away, and they still get the same product they'd have got if you gave them a great deal, but at the end of the month, when you look at your financials, it's just better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I think me and Jack Bucknell was talking about that the other day. You're taking emotion out of it, like somebody that's not doing the work, not doing, the emotion comes out of it, and you're going by the price guide. So
yep,
it's what it's supposed to be. So, Amanda, we've been working on a little estimating, and we was doing some before and afters the other day, or just kind of getting her price down. And it was like a 2-inch dent. She measured it 4 inches. I was like, I like your style. Just keep that up.
Yeah.
I bet you do.
It's great. Right? Or you'll get
made a little joke about that.
She calls 2 inches 4 inches.
Yeah.
I did make a joke about that.
You got some explaining to do, Andy. But you've been lying to her for years, haven't you? And now it's finally starting to pay off. Smart man.
Goodness.
Write that down. So
she's like, oh.
Yeah. But it's weird, right? A car will come in, right? And you're like, who wrote this? And then you're like, oh, I know who wrote this. This was, you sort of measured it out, and looks. I wouldn't have been that nice, I mean, I would have been nicer than that. He's just better about how he writes stuff. So,
yeah, I've cut out in the past, I would say, year, all that kind of stuff, unless it's like my blood family or something like that, I won't charge. But all the buddy deal type crap, like I just had one probably last week or a week before, text me out of the blue, hey, I need your services, and he sent me a picture, and I said, okay, we'll go through my website and submit it. And he did, and I sent him back an estimate, for 1 or 2 inch dent, whatever it was. I think it was just a 1-inch dent, so it was $163.77. I can get right to it, Okay, thanks. Ain't heard nothing, and I won't, because he was looking for a buddy deal, and I'm not.
I ain't gonna lie, I got a buddy deal sitting in the shop right now that I've already started on, and
well, like the one I did yesterday. Yes, it was a buddy deal. There's an old man that I go to church with. He's 80-something years old. He's already flooded. He sank his first truck. He's got this one. He backed into a pole at the church, and he's like, I just wanted to look better. I'm like, well, measuring this out, I'm going to be the same price as, replacement cost is. It's going to be a couple grand or whatever. I said, look, I can get the 80% of this out. I said, you give me $500 cash, I'll do it. And he said, okay. It didn't take long.
Yeah.
Got it. It's white. That right there, because he'll sit in here and talk, or at church or whatever. It comes with, he's an ex ATF agent. It's pretty awesome hearing the stories and stuff. At 80-something years old, he can still shake your hand and make you want to cry. But something like that. Yeah, I don't mind doing it, but the people who never contact me and crap until they need something, cut it out.
That's what Amanda's saying. The guy that I'm kind of doing the buddy deal for, he's letting me borrow the scissor lift to paint my life. He shares all of our business posts. You know what I mean? Like, that's somebody I get. Yeah, I'm going to hook you up. You're taking care of me. So,
yep.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's not always about the money, though, right? I mean,
Right.
I think we talk about it a lot, but it really isn't, right? Your same situation, Brandon. It's like there's certain people that come in and you should charge them more, but you just don't because it just feels good, right? I mean, it feels worse to take all the money. It feels good to do the money, and they walk away happy. And I don't know.
Well,
I like doing that.
My whole thing on that, and it has been since I've been in business, if you're expecting it, I'm not going to do it.
Right.
Let it be my choice. Let me give you a price. You want to fix it. If I feel like I don't want to charge you, that's on me.
Yeah.
But don't come in here expecting that crap because that's what's I'm going to jack the price up and you're not going to get it done.
So I like what Andy said. Just give your buddy a high price and go, oh, man, I'll hook you up and do a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
I like the style, Andy.
I can see Andy doing that.
I love those people. It's like you went to church with when you was like 3 years old. Hey, how you been? Like, here we go. Like I literally, I got that example because that's happened not too long ago. It's like, come on, man, really? What do you
do? Yeah. It always seems to be. I mean, if it's a situation like it's a college person, right? College student, or anyone younger kid loves their car, doesn't have as much money. It feels good to be able to do that for them, right? Because eventually they're going to be in a different situation and they'll remember that. It's the people that come in and we get a lot of nice cars here. We do. It's the people that come in with the really nice stuff and they lead with, well, I hear you're not the cheapest. And I was like, that's what you're leading with, right? It's like, I mean, like, and I've gotten to the point now where I don't care so much. And I'm like, nope, I guarantee you'll find someone cheaper, right? And just leave it at that, right? I mean,
I'll tell people that all the time.
Yeah, I guarantee you will find someone cheaper. But,
especially when you're busy. It's like, dude, I got like 3 more waiting to be more than happy to pay where you're sitting there right now. So, what is it? Piss or get off the pot?
If it's the middle of winter and it's really crappy out, I might be a little bit nicer. But in the summer, well, I don't know if nicer is the word, but it's I don't know. In the summer, we're all so busy. It's just like you just sort of do it. So.
Ray Gonzalez said you got to set them up and go out there and be like, oh, that's bad. Like, you got to get them ready.
We all do that.
Oof.
Oof.
I don't know, man.
I don't know about that one.
It is you, though. I'll try to take care of you. Like, I'll put my extra. What up, Dave-O? So, but yeah, about how far do you stay booked out at your shop?
We're probably the farthest we've been now, almost 3 weeks.
Wow.
So normally this time of the year, like school starts, the weather's starting to turn. We'll start to slow down a little bit, or when school starts and people don't want to be out their car, right? Like, I don't know what my kids' schedule is going to be. I don't know what their after-school stuff's going to be, and it slows down. But, man, summer took a long time to get here this year, and the weather's been nice once it got here. So I think people are we stay busier in the summer. But I've never been 3 weeks out, 3.5 weeks out with all retail work.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a blessing, but it's also, once you get that far out, you'll lose some jobs too, right? Or you schedule someone that far out and you reach out to them a couple days ahead of time and remind them, and they're like, oh yeah, I forgot, right? Which means either they found someone else to do it or they went another route or whatever. But I'd prefer to stay under 2 weeks if I could.
Yeah.
I'm usually, I've been blessed enough to be a good 3 to 4 weeks booked out. Right now it's slowing down. But it's, unless it's something pressing, like I've got one, he's out of town right now. He sent me pictures. It's on a cab corner, but it busted the back glass. So it shoved that edge in. He's like, I'm out of town. I can't get in town right now. He said, I'm mainly wondering if you can do it after I get a new glass in. I'm like, that's going to be iffy because how far over it looks like it shoved that edge. I said, but with you being out of town, security reasons, need to keep walking. As long as it didn't mess up the frame area right there, go ahead and get a new glass in. When you come back, I can guarantee probably 80 to 90% I can get out. He's like, hey, I'll do that. But anyway,
that's why Brandon's so damn busy. He's like a body shop. You see the shit he fixes. I'm like, hell no. Like, he takes it all. And he don't give a damn.
Why? No, go ahead.
Oh well, like we're 3 weeks out, but that's with 3 guys pushing too, right? So that's like
awesome.
you add that up and you think if that was one guy, that'd be 2.5 months, right? So we'll see. I'm talking about trying to bring another guy on. I actually could really use another guy. I wish there was someone out there that was really, really good and wanted to move to this overpriced state and come to work here. So
I think most of them moving out of there, moving our way.
That is true. That is true. But
do you have anybody that's like designated to wholesale, or everybody just pretty much works there? And
my very first hire, Ryan, he's an awesome dude. I keep saying he's a kid, but he's not. He seemed like it when I hired him, and I'm obviously getting older too. So I say kid now, and I'm like, that isn't right. He's got a kid himself. So he still does the wholesale stuff, right? Still runs around, still does the body shops and the detail shops and the dealership stuff that we do.
Awesome.
But that's funny because I've had people approach me and ask me about the whole shop thing, and I want to start a shop, but I only want to be open these days, and I just want to schedule appointments. Then I want to do that. I want to still be able to do my outdoor stuff. My situation was different. I hired a guy. He came on with me, rode with me for a year, right? He rode with me a year before he even came on full time on his 1 day off a year, or 1 day off a week. Sorry. And so he met these guys, became friends with them. And so the transition was really smooth to a guy taking over the stuff that wasn't shop based.
Yeah.
But I'm personally not a big fan if people are looking at a shop to go, well, I'm just going to be here this many days and I'm just going to schedule it. And I was like, man, if you're not there and someone takes the time to drive to your shop and you're not there, it's going to be pretty hard to get them back.
Yeah, I'm the same way. And me and Andy talked about it. He's so busy with U-Haul and that. And I've told him, I said, you got to think of it, this is your baby, your shop. And that's what you really want to grow. But it's hard to pass up U-Haul.
Man, I can't. Like, there's no way I can. There's no way around it right now. Like, it's got to be priority.
Unless you can.
And I feel like the shop's going to grow. Like, more and more, we're getting more and more people pulling in and stuff. We're getting them scheduled, so we're not having that big of an issue with that. Get Amanda estimating a little bit better. Get her comfortable with estimating. That'll help out a lot. We'll get there. I can't pass that opportunity up right now. I gotta go. So.
No, but I think if you have someone there, when people show up, that's the biggest part of it.
Right.
If it's an estimator or a greeter of some sort, so someone can get some sort of response out of you, some sort of reaction out of, some sort of estimate out of you. If nobody's there, I wouldn't come back, right? If I drove across town and went to this, I called, no one answered, so I said, I'll just drive over there. And you drive over there and nobody's there, well, but you're probably not going to get my money. Right. But if you have someone there to look over the stuff, and if you have questions, they can take pictures and say, hey, look, I'm gonna have Andy call you back. I'm gonna show him these pictures and we're gonna go over them and I'll call you back. I mean, that's okay too. But
right.
And you may or may not get to the point where all you want to do is your shop stuff. But I don't know. Hearing your situation outside the shop, that would be really hard to just walk away from.
I know. Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah, no.
I mean, it's paying for the shop basically right now, whether there's anything in here or not. So. I got time to grow this thing out. Like, it ain't got to be an overnight success at the shop, so we'll make it work.
And it never is an overnight success anyway. So, but like I'm to the point that I don't go anywhere, and the few things like I don't go and get cars. I don't bring them here. The only thing I would go get would be like a Harley dealership, get a tank, get a fender. It's gotten to the point I've got one sitting here. They delivered yesterday, but I've done probably 5 in the last month and a half. And they're like, hey, are you going to be able to come get this? I'm like, I'm busy. And, they know me that I'm the only one here that works. So I can't just drop what I'm doing, run down there, get it. Same thing, taking it back. So I try to, if I can, especially taking it back, if I can, work it in around lunchtime, go down there, take it back to them. But no, they've been great now. Oh, we'll just bring it to you. Okay.
I think people have a hard time when you're always mobile and you can always go to someone, you can always bail them out, and you can always help them, and they don't have to do anything. And then you say, well, I can't do that anymore. I think it takes some people time to get used to it, right? Like we've had dealers and in body shops and things like that don't like it in the beginning, but now it is what it is. So,
Right.
Yeah, it's all up here.
Like your body shops, if they're having the same issue, like they can't get to something as ASAP or whatever, so they gotta kind of gotta accept because they're going through the same stuff. Andy said the good customers end up bringing it to you anyway.
Yep, they do.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah,
it may
get rid of some nachos like that.
Well, it may put a damper on it in the very beginning. It will. When people are so used to you coming out, it will. But you got to explain to them, especially your body shops and stuff. And if you still want to do wholesale, like the few that I will do, they've got to bring them here. If they still want any kind of little discount, they still got to bring it here. But those are so few and far between that I give them retail price on it. If they want to do it, I'll do it. If not, it's going to sit out front. The key's going to be in it. Right. And come back and pick it up. I'll get them. I had one last week. They come and just dropped it off out of the blue. And they're like, did so-and-so call you? I was like, I hadn't heard a thing. They're like, oh, okay. I went out, looked at it. I was like, okay. 5-inch dent through body line on lift gate. It's $500-something, whatever it was. I emailed it to them. Never heard a word till about 4:30 that afternoon. These two crackheads pulled up and come in. I mean, literally,
Alabama.
Literally, crackheads from the body shop they send everything to pick up that vehicle. Hey, I'm here to pick up this. I'm like, okay, here you go. Gave them the key. I texted the owner of the car lot. I said, I sure hope you sent somebody here to pick up this vehicle because I just gave them the keys. And you never contacted me.
Right.
And he was like, oh, yeah, I did. Like, okay. But
dude, we're almost 40 minutes in. We ain't even talked about Doug. Like we've been talking. And I'm enjoying the shit out of it. No complaints. But I am going to pull a Kevin Bird and take a piss, but I'll mute my shit.
Yeah, please do. So we'll dive into it. So, come to the point that we want our whole show is about getting to know technicians outside of the PDR world, like I explained to you earlier. So with that being said, if you want to dive into who you are outside the PDR world, just act like you don't have your business, family life, married, how many kids, anything like that, what y'all like to do. I know you're a buff guy, you work out, what got you into doing that? Just, take the floor.
So I turned 50 this year. So that's where I'm at now, age-wise. I started when I was 28. So my life's turned a little bit more into more of a family guy, right? I used to spend a lot of times, I used to road race motorcycles, right? Like spent 14 years of my life road racing motorcycles. So I'd work all week and then the weekends, and every night was dedicated to making my bikes ready so I could race them. And now I'm a family guy, man. I got 2 kids. I got a daughter and a son. My son's 7, my daughter's 4. Got a beautiful wife who just went back to work. Man, I get up every morning between 4 and 4:30. I go to the gym. I work out. I've always worked out, probably to try to compensate for all the injuries I've done to myself. My least favorite thing in the world is if I go to a doctor and they go, list your surgeries, and I'm like, damn it. Right? Like see attached sheet, right? Here it is. So I spent a lot of years hurting myself, doing a lot of things. And I've always joked, people go, oh, you're only 50. You wait till you're 60. And I'm like, you ain't lived my 50, right? Like, so
it's been a rough 50.
And I was late to life to have kids, right? Like I didn't have my son till I was 43, and my daughter was born on my 46th birthday. So all my friends that have kids that are in college and just getting out of high school, I'm just getting out of diapers. So just about time for me to get in them, I suppose. But I don't know. My life's all around my family now. Like it really is. Like I spent all those years. I went to college, got a pre-law degree. Always wanted to be a pro soccer player. And then when that didn't pan out, that's all I did was soccer, right? And then when you sort of get to the realization that you're not that good, you're going to do something else. And I sort of always thought I'd be in police or FBI or something like that. And that never panned out. And here I do this now. But I all the money I used to spend on racing motorcycles, and I wish I had it back. But I love cars. Like, I'm a car guy, right? I got some old cars, and I got some old cars I'm working on. And I know a lot of people like that do what we do, don't really care about cars, and that's cool. But I like cars. I like being around cars. I like seeing cars. I like getting to touch cars and not going home every day dirty. So, and car people are cool. Yeah, I mean, and car people are cool, right? So, so that's what I'm all about. I work on cars. If I had a second to myself, now I have 2 little kids. I don't, but if I did, I'd probably be messing with cars in the garage. So I actually today I was trying to buy an old fire station. It came for sale, and it was like, oh man, this is awesome. It's a big shop. It's got this place we're living in, and that was my goal. They took offers up until today, but welcome to my world. It just bid up and bid up and bid up through the agent. I was like, all right, I appreciate you. So
at some point,
but I'm like, that's to me, like, if I could get something, it'd be an old gas station, an old fire station, right?
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's just the pinnacle of where I'd like to end up, with something fun like that, to have cars, and I'd like to have more cars. And my wife asked me why I need more cars, and I don't know why she needs more shoes, but that's for her to argue about.
Right.
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's funny. Me and Doug talk about the kids or whatever, and I'm telling him, like, I'm the one telling him about what they're going to be like when they're teenagers. Like, I'm giving him a heads up instead of vice versa. I'm like, wait a minute.
I'll be 43 December, and my oldest is first year in college.
Well,
and you were 43 when you had your first.
I know, right? Think about that.
Oh,
so you ask me what I do, you know exactly what I'm doing, right? I go home, I chase kids, I try to act like I didn't work all day, I try to act like I didn't wake up at 4 a.m., right? And so and then people say, oh, kids will keep you young, and I was like, I don't know, I might argue it. But
Josh Dragos, that's if you're a Sounders fan.
Yeah, of course. Actually, just if he's a Sounders fan, Casey Keller was just in my shop the other day, and I just fixed. He's got a '77 Buick LeSabre that he brought in, and we fixed. It was the first car he ever owned. So
really,
back when I was a mobile guy, I went to his house and worked on his car, and he brought his car in this time, and we worked on it. So
I guess James Bernard's a fan too. He's a green and blue baby. I'm assuming that's soccer. Nice. I have no clue what you guys are talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
Never been into soccer.
Yeah. No, I tried out for the Sounders back in, I don't want to say when, but it was a long time ago, right? long time ago. So actually played with, if they know Sounders too, like Marcus Hahnemann was the backup keeper to Casey Keller, and we played as kids together on his dad's team. So that's how intertwined I was at one point, but my knees have told me otherwise. They told me otherwise 20 years ago. So,
I can imagine. That's got to be hard on the knee.
Yeah.
Josh said he's an Orlando City fan.
Man, I'm not talking to Josh right
now. So where'd you go to college at?
I went to Pacific Lutheran University. So I got a legal studies degree and a bachelor's in criminal justice.
Nice.
So, and then I became a dent guy. So, obvious transition.
That's what my daughter's going for, criminal justice.
Nice.
Her dream job is a behavioral analysis FBI. So,
nice.
We'll see. I mean, it's only a month and a half into school. So
it's so early.
We'll see.
that could change 6 or 8 times this year. Yeah.
Now, when you started with Dent Wizard, was it still franchises?
Yeah, we were one of the only. There wasn't that many franchises at that point because corporate was buying up so many. So our franchise owner owned Seattle, and his other partner owned San Francisco.
Okay.
So they were. My franchise owner was actually used to be vice president of corporate years ago, and came out to the West Coast and started the whole West Coast thing. So, but actually, my shop is only 2 blocks away from where his shop used to be. Which is crazy enough. Yeah. Well, it wasn't set up like that. It just sort of worked out that way. But
right.
Yeah.
Josh says a Florida thing, Doug.
Okay.
Talking about the Orlando City.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you in Florida in a couple of months. So.
The poor Doug is a Seattle Seahawks fan, so he got that going for him. Hey, Gino's looking better than expected. I got to say, I'm a little shocked with Gino right now.
No. Yeah, but then the second game, he did exactly what Gino's done for 7 years.
That's true.
So showed his true colors. So, yeah, it's kind of sad. I mean, we were really lucky to have that long of a run, to have that good of a team. I mean, we really were, right? We're going to have to rebuild like everybody does, right?
Just don't know when to run Marshawn. That was the only problem.
Well, I think we all know the answer to that. Everybody knows the answer to that.
Yes. I remember that night, that game. I was like, I just sat there dumbfounded, like, wow, what are we doing here?
Yeah, and you always wonder what would happen, right? Like, how many NFL teams have won back-to-back Super Bowls? So that would have been a back-to-back Super Bowl, and you wonder that could have changed things for years to come. You never know, but I don't know. It's no changing it now.
James Bernard, I forgot he's a Seahawks fan too. Then you got poor Mark Hunter's a Bears fan. I'm sorry, buddy.
Yeah,
I think Mike, not Mike. I think Mark likes Green Bay too.
Yeah, I think he loves them a little bit.
We're probably getting fired up on here.
He
said, "Me too."
It's funny though, as I've gotten older, like when I was younger, all I cared about was soccer, and I probably get more enjoyment out of watching football now than I do that. I don't know why that is. Maybe because I was so into it for so long that now it's like something different and something fun. And but whatever my kids will let me watch that isn't a damn animated movie. So I will take it.
You watching all the Disney Plus?
I know them all.
Over and over and over.
Yeah. There's nothing like watching that same movie 6 or 8 times in a row.
Or driving somewhere, and I remember when mine were little, and you're driving and they're watching like the DVD player in the back at the time, and they want to hear it. This was back before, like when my oldest ones were young. And so then you got the wire going all the way up to auxiliary wire into your car stereo. So you're driving, all you can hear is a stupid movie for 8 hours going over and over like Cars. I could probably recite that thing.
I can deal with the Disney movies better than I can like some of the cartoons. I like Natalie watched Caillou when she's growing up, and I hate Caillou. He's a whiny little bitch cartoon. I'm like, dude, he's whiny. I'm like, I can't stand it. Turn it off. Luckily, I don't have to deal with it. Natalie was watching Monty Python and the Holy Grail the other day. Like,
wow,
I love that.
Yeah, she's into some '80s throwback and everything. So. I can't watch that movie, but yeah, her and Amanda's all in on it. Josh is asking who's your EPL team.
Who's my what?
EPL team.
My EPL. Man, I'm not loyal to any of them. So I don't claim one over the other. There's some people that take that stuff really serious. All I really care about, I like watching good soccer, right? Like good soccer. And it's changed over the years. Like, I'm going to get on my soapbox here for a second. Same way as basketball has changed, right? Like, sports are there's so much BS in it now compared to what it used to be. I'll be blatantly honest that I think the last Women's World Cup was the best soccer I've seen in years, because it was women trying to prove that they were going to play hard and not, you know what I mean? And I think guys now, it's an actor's guild, man. It's like, flailing to the ground, and you got hit in the shoulder, but then you grab your ankle. And it's just, for me, I didn't grow up like that, so it's hard for me to watch that. So
yeah, like you're saying, like basketball, Jordan used to have like people punch him in the face basically when he's driving the lane, and now LeBron's flopping because somebody's air knocked him down.
It sort of takes the joy out of it for me. So that's probably why I don't watch it as much as I used to watch it. It's more frustrating than the enjoyment part of it. So
then y'all lost the Sonics too. That didn't help anything. It's like, all right, cool.
Oh man, they're about to. Man, you're just hitting all the key spots. But they're about to. My understanding is any day we're going to hear that we're going to get them back. Is the rumor on the street? I don't know. I think they're going to. Start a whole new one, right? Like we're gonna get. I think Las Vegas and us are about to get. The hell do you call that when you?
Expansion teams.
Expansion teams. Thank you. But there's still a lot of deep roots of Sonic stuff here, and it's kind of sad that we lost that. But
I love growing up watching Gary Payton and Sean Kemp. And everything. Then you get Durant, and they're like, oh, by the way, we're leaving. See you later.
Yeah, I know, right? You get that. You get one of the best players to come out ever, and they're like, oh, that's great. Okay. Yeah.
We'll see.
Away they go.
Because after they got him, they couldn't afford to stay there.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't expensive then.
No.
Let's talk about your vehicles a little bit, because everybody that's Facebook friends with you loves seeing your post about you, including me.
Most people see my shop truck, right? Like I have a 67 C10. That's
all my shop truck.
Your shop truck, Andy's shop truck. Soon to someday be his shop truck. It's actually the reason that all my logos are green now, right? Like that's a sort of seafoam green, because I got that truck, and everything I ever owned was always black. And I got that truck and it was green. And when I redid it, I was like, man, I'm gonna do it that same green. It's beautiful. And then that sort of turned into all my colors became green for my work. So man, I love that truck. It gets me a lot of business too, right? Like I take it to shows and people see it and it's got my logo painted in the door and people ask me about it, or I saw your truck driving by, and I really like that thing. And then I have a 1993 GMC Typhoon that not everybody knows what those are, but I wanted one. My neighbor brought one home brand new in 93. He worked for the fire department, never worked, always was home, was always rubbing it, wiping it down, stuff like that. And I fell in love with it and I found one. And it's pretty much near perfect.
Wow.
Even as much as I like my green truck, that Typhoon, the amount of people that say, when I was a kid, when I was in high school, I remember Buddy Who, I rode in one back then. It's like, I've never had something start so much conversation as that thing.
Right. And they're so rare. Like you don't see them every day. Like 68 to 72, you'll see occasionally, but not like the Typhoons and stuff you don't ever see. So,
well, or they're beat to the ground, or they were wrecked, or they were, whatever. So that one's, I mean, it's about as clean as it's been. And most people that see is like, man, I haven't seen one this nice in forever. So
it's awesome.
And then I have a 56 Bel Air that I've been building for like ever. I just never talk about it because it's like Fight Club. It never turns out well when I talk about it. It goes to a shop and it gets worked on for a while, and then that person finds a way to do something not amazing, and it gets yanked out of there and it went to another shop. And but that's going to be a really cool car. Back when I raced motorcycles, I thought my next venture would be like Optimus Street Car Challenge stuff, right? I was going to build this really cool 56 on a aftermarket chassis, and it'd be a stick car and make big power, and I'd enjoy doing that. And with age comes a cage, as they say, right? So, don't fall over so much. And now that I got my kids, I just want a car I can hang out with my kids and cruise in and stuff. So and I should never say this, but the guy who has the car right now just stopped by today and said, "Hey man, we need to start thinking about a color and stuff like that." And I said, "Sure we do." But after 14 years, I don't believe anybody, but he's probably pretty serious about it. So
I guess you talked about it on the Ian show.
Yeah, he wants that Typhoon too. So
I think everybody does. Like,
yeah. Oh man, and I picked that thing up when it wasn't crazy, and now they've just gotten through. So that's Typhoon's top 3 cars right now that have gone up in value of cars out there. But to think that one sold 3-4 months ago is probably the nicest example anyway, with under 300 miles on it, right? But at $180,000 for that damn Typhoon, I mean,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Kevin said Toyota Siennas are nice. Yeah, they are, bitch. I pick up all the soccer kids. We go to practice.
That's all right. You carry more people. Yeah.
No, I love your collection. It's awesome. What do the kids think? Do they enjoy it when you pick them up in one of them?
Oh man, I took my daughter to. I asked her the other day because I take her to school on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Those are my 2 days to come in late. So I said, "Hey, I'm going to take you to school in the green truck," and she's like, "Oh, I wanted you to take me to school in the tofu, right?" So my Typhoon is the tofu. So I actually drove her to school and dropped her off on Tuesday. And I drove my green truck to work, and I took my tofu home. So I'm going to take her to school on Thursday in that. So
that's awesome.
But
yeah, I see she was dressed as a pumpkin yesterday. Like,
oh my god, it's so funny. Like, when your kids are young and they come downstairs and they're dressed, it's a miracle anyway, right? It's the coolest thing ever at 4. And she came down dressed like that, and I was like, hell yes, you're going to school like that. Like, that's amazing.
That's
right?
awesome.
Doesn't hurt when your kids are cute, right? Like, everybody thinks their kids are cute, but when your little daughter comes down dressed like that, I'm like, okay, that's good, right?
Yeah. David White says you need to get a vanity plate from Typhoon. It says tofu.
You know what's funny? I looked that up, and for some reason I can't get it. It's supposedly thought to be slang, like TOFU. I can't put that on there. So I've been desperately looking for another way to spell it and do that. So, but that will probably happen. Yes, that will probably
have
happen.
symbols. Just have a symbol of a big toe, and then have two
emojis on it.
Yeah. Exactly. So here's a funny story about that rig, right? So I was on Instagram one time and I posted something up about it, and I tagged Vanilla Ice, right? I was like, oh yeah, my little Vanilla Ice rig or whatever. I washed it all up or something. Next thing you know, he's following me on Instagram, and I'm like, man, I'm a kid of the '90s. This is like a major victory that Vanilla Ice is following me, right? So
that's so awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Never heard from him again, but that was good enough.
So, yeah, that's
all good.
You won.
Yeah, so we're pretty close. We're pretty tight.
Yeah,
it's not going to work, David. He's spelling like it's still FU at the end. That's his issue with it. So you got to figure out how to get around the FU.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. Yeah,
FOO. Just do FOO.
TOEFOO.
We're gonna hook you up tonight. We're gonna make it happen. I'll call the license plate place tomorrow.
Yeah. I'll send you the number. I appreciate it.
You put the foo and tofu.
Yeah. But
oh Lordy.
Yeah, so that's my cars. So and then my daily stuff, but that's my fun stuff.
Yeah, we don't care about the. Yeah, there you go.
Foo. Oh, we got
everybody.
Man,
tofu and tofu again. I love it.
Oh my gosh!
Great participation, everybody.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Every one of you.
Yeah. Free T-shirts for everybody. Yeah. Nice.
Oh goodness.
Nice.
Now you're going to be at MTE this year, ain't you?
Yeah, I think so. Last couple of years have been. It's a major to get from Washington to Florida is like it's a commitment, right? So,
all right.
But I think I'm going to bring Jeff has come with me, one of my techs before, and I think I want to bring Ryan with me too. So Ryan's one funny ass dude, man. He's awesome. A good dude, so he'd be the right guy to bring down there as well. Plus, I want him to see it and meet the guys and see what it's all about, right? So we're sort of up in this area up here where we don't get hailstorms, so we don't get to meet guys, right? The guys don't fly in for hailstorms, and you create that relationship. And some of the relationships I've created for guys in this industry, man, it's awesome, right? Like it, and it's not even just through the groups, right? It's guys I've met at MTE, and I'm like I stay in touch with them all the time. So
right,
it's there's a lot of really good people in this business.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah,
there's one of them right there. He said your flies down. Billy Joe said your flies down.
Oh man, that's the other guy. That's the guy that wants my green truck. Billy Joe's a funny dude.
I'll fight him for it.
Yeah, he's a good dude too. Supposedly he was up in my area not too long ago. I think Eastern Washington or something. But did he stop by? Nah.
David White said, "How was last night's show? We have 735 new vanity plate ideas."
Yeah,
seriously, that's my whole screen right now. Is the vanity.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Josh is 45 minutes from it. I mean, you can always come to Tennessee too in November.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I know they're a pain in the ass.
You know
your next vehicle needs to be like an 80s custom van.
Oh,
so then you and the guys can take 3 weeks off. 1 week to drive down the LC.
Oh my God.
Record the whole
week there.
Yeah, I guarantee you we would not make it. I can guarantee it. Yeah, I would. One of us would murder one of us. I know that for a fact. We like each other. I don't think we like each other 3 weeks. Like, yeah no
Kevin's
way.
Calling MTE Dixon. Yep, that's in November. MTE Dixon. That's their name over there.
Nice.
I don't know who you are, but thank you. I know my face is beautiful. I know about Doug and Brandon now.
I'm hiding mine with a beard.
Nice.
I need to get mine. Mine's getting a little out of hand. I got twigs everywhere and stuff, so it takes time to get a beard shaved up, trimmed up. Team van. There you go.
A team van. All right.
No, A team.
Oh,
A team.
A team van.
You got.
I mean, we do work for a body shop that's got one, and it's pretty
Really?
pretty cool. Yeah, it really is. So,
tell them we need a bar for our dental Olympics. We can be the AT.
yeah. You guys are gonna have to come up with something good to try to outdo the last one you guys did.
I don't think we'll be able to outdo it. Like we keep racking our brains. And Amanda's came up with about 5 million ideas, and Brandon's being picky. So
we may have to go back as what we were.
All right.
Really? I want to do something different.
we may walk around in 2 pine boxes with the faces painted on it. Like you did. Just have our arms sticking out.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Oh, we will.
Yeah, I'm excited about MTE. Like last year was a blast. It's like everybody finally get to get back out after the year they took off and stuff, and it was just cranked up. So I'm sure this year will be great too.
Was last year pretty good?
Oh, it was awesome.
Huge.
Yeah, it was huge.
Good.
Yeah.
Huge. And Kevin thinks this year is going to be even bigger.
Nice.
So
that place they're having it now, the Rose and Shingle Creek, it's a great facility for it. Like they do really good with it and stuff.
Yeah. Is that the one where you walk across to get to it? Like you walk across the parking lot to get to the convention center? Or I can't remember. It's been a couple of years ago.
So you come down from your rooms and you can go down a hallway and you're in the convention center. That was that convention center or whatever. I heard that was a nightmare.
Yeah. But you're talking about the one that's got the little restaurants, right? Like you walk between the restaurants?
Yeah.
That place is awesome.
You go down and then basically 2 convention centers. So like we were on the left last year and then there was some other medical thing on the other side.
Okay.
5,000 plus people is what Kevin's calling for.
Wow.
This year.
That's a lot of koozies, you guys.
Josh Drago's funny story. Like back in the day, I was actually BA. My mom dressed me up as him for Halloween one year.
We need to take a poll, Andy, and at some
point, a poll.
Really?
I couldn't.
Oh, get it out the gutter.
Yeah.
About like what they may want from us this year. We had koozies and stickers last year. We still got some of them left, but I don't know.
We only had a Facebook page to do a poll on.
You do a poll.
Yeah.
like 2 kids arguing with each other. Oh man!
Someone takes my mom says to try out the BA. Hey, it was awesome. Like I got a lot of hits on that. I just think it's kind of frowned upon nowadays to be BA. I don't know.
Hey, I've got a picture somewhere of Iowa's buckwheat.
Nice.
I can't show that around now.
No, you better not. Nope.
I mean, I loved it, but I loved Little Rascals when I was younger. But I mean, I can't do that crap now.
Speaking of polls,
all right, we're past the hour mark. So,
all right.
I mean,
I could have sat here and talked all night. It's been fun.
Yep.
Like we got 40 minutes in and just like I said, didn't even get on to the other stuff. So I knew you'd be a great one, Doug. I was like, hey, go.
Awesome. I appreciate you guys. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it was awesome. My wife asked me, she's like, you excited for it? And I was like, yeah, I'm really excited to talk to these guys. They're good dudes. So
thank you. We appreciate that, brother. You're a good one too.
Yeah.
Like I said, I came home and told Amanda, I was like, me and Doug got to hang out quite a bit and chat. Cause I think the only other time we hung out was at Anson's open house when we had the meet up there. So yeah, I enjoy hanging out with you.
Yeah. Cool. I
Several
appreciate it.
So before we go, do you hunt or anything?
Only with cash money at the grocery store. So always.
Well, Jeremy Nadeau, he popped his head in earlier. He's like, "Oh, now we can start." I know that's what he was wanting to know. He only stays if we're talking about hunting.
Yeah, I never grew up with any of that in my life, so I think it'd be cool to experience it. It's just not in my.
Yeah.
It's not my.
If you don't grow up with it, it's kind of.
Yeah.
See, I was the opposite. I grew up with it and was like, I don't have to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and be cold and be quiet.
That early.
Yeah.
That's how I was raised to do it, and I didn't like it.
My dad would say, "You going with me?" I'm like, "Nope."
I bet
stay there sleeping until he got back around 9 o'clock.
Did you catch anything? Yeah.
Yeah. In the afternoons, I mean, that was my time to go. And I'm still kind of like that. Morning, screw that. Afternoon, yep.
Best thing about mine is me and my granddad. We got to spend a lot of quality time. Of course, he ain't here no more, so that time will never be forgotten. So
Yeah.
Enjoyed that part. But man, I'm telling you, he come in here and wake me up. I'd be like, there's a couple times I got a cold wash rag in the face, a cold bottle of water. Come on, go.
Nice.
Yep. Now I wake up at 4 o'clock on purpose.
Yeah. Yeah. But dinner's at 2:30 though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to bed now.
Yeah. See you in the morning. Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, Doug, thank you so much for being on. It's been a blast.
Yeah. Definitely.
Appreciate you guys. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys and everybody down at least at MTE. So if I can get to the other event, that'd be awesome. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, no problem. We appreciate you coming on, and again, appreciate everybody commenting and making it fun, and
all of your suggestions.
Yeah, giving Doug a lot of suggestions.
Yeah, I got a lot of work to do.
So.
Nothing to do with work.
Go back and look through the comments. Just take a list. Which one of these sons of bitches will work? Let me.
Yeah, exactly. Just keep sending them. Just keep sending them till they accept one.
What you do? You get your daughter to say, "Hey, can you spell tofu?"
Yeah.
And
there you
see
go.
See how she spells it, and then that's it.
It's going to be a toe and a karate guy. I'm telling you.
Yeah, exactly.
If people know what it is or not.
Yeah, don't matter, right?
But yeah. Anyway, again, we appreciate it, and I'll put you in the back room here in a minute. After we end this, we'll say our goodbyes. But again, appreciate everybody joining in tonight. Everybody. And we are out of here. See ya.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.
Thanks again for watching another episode of Ginger Bros Dent Show. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And for all past episodes, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or Podbean. Keep pushing, make that money. See you next week.